Good morning, great Indians. How are you? Fine? Okay, so in a previous video, we started studying the three sexual reproduction events: pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization event. Under the gamete transfer, we studied the structure of embryo sac. From this, we just recap and we will move ahead. You are able to see the clear picture on this screen. Micropilar end, this is a micropilar end, okay, and this is egg cell, and there are two ends, micropilar end and chaliceal end. The upper side, that is the egg cell in the center, and two red color cells are showing the synergids. This is the complete one polar nuclei. In this, two nucleus is present, and lower one, three antipodal cell. You are able to recall these things. Okay, now moving ahead. Female reproductive unit, as we already studied, there are three parts of a female reproductive unit, that is also called as a pistil and carpel. Contain ovaries, style and stigma. You are able to see on the screen. Female, that is a pistil, is the female reproductive part of a flower. It may be mono, bi or tri or polycarpillary, means it may contain one carpel, one pistil, or two pistil, three pistil, or more than two carpels. Syncarpous, fused and free carpels. Okay, that condition is termed as syncarpous or apocarpous. Each pistil consists of three units, that is ovary, style and stigma. The ovary has one or more cavities called locules. Okay, placenta is the locules bear the ovules. We already studied in placentation in class 11th. Okay, now next slide, that is ovule. Ovule arises as a primordium or on a placenta. The short stalk which attached to the ovule with the placenta is termed as funicle. The primordium grows into a mass of cells forming a nucellus and the body of ovule. The two protective covering of a nucellus is integuments except at the tip, leaving a small opening called micropyle. We already studied micropyle. And now that this is the structure of ovule, basal part of ovule is called, means lower part, is termed as chaliza, that lie opposite to the micropyle. There are two ends, micropilar end and chaliceal end. Cells of nucellus are rich in reserve food. A single embryo sac or female gametophyte located in the nucellus, which is developed from the megaspore. Now here you are able to see the clear-cut three antipodal cell pollen tube formation, which pollen tube contains only single generative nucleus or two nucleus which go for a mitotic division. Okay, then enters into a female gametophyte. Now we already studied this. Just have a quick recap. Megasporogenesis and development of a female gametophyte. How these 8 nucleated embryo sac is formed, that process is termed as megasporogenesis. Microsporogenesis means formation of a pollen grain, and female gametophyte embryo sac formation is termed as megasporogenesis, that is 8 nucleated 7 cell. How this is formed, that we will study. One of the nucellus cell in the micropilar region is differentiated into megaspore mother cell. First megaspore mother cell is formed and the cell is larger, contains dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. It undergoes for meiosis, forming a 4 haploid cells called megaspore tetrad, and 3 megaspore degenerate. Only 1 megaspore is become functional. Now here you are able to see this is the female megaspore mother cell. It go for a division to produce 2, and out of then this go for again 4. Out of 4, 1 become functional and 3 degenerate, they vanish. Okay, now this go for a again mitotic division to produce 2 to 4, then 4 to 8, and these 8 are then arranged into this manner. We will study Now, megaspore, development of a female gametophyte. Functional megaspore is the first cell of a female gametophyte. Its nucleus undergoes mitosis and the two nuclei move towards the opposite pole. Form two nucleated embryo sac and two successive mitotic division in each case of a nuclei that is formed. Now, the devices we already studied: autogamy, that is self-fertilization; devices of xenogamy, that is the cross-fertilization; adaptation of characteristics. Now here children, you just remember the slide. Now we have to recall the characteristics of wind pollinated flower, water pollinated flower, insect pollinated flower, characteristics of flowers. Here you are able to see what are the characteristics of a wind pollinated flower. Pollen grains are light, non-sticky, dry, sometimes winged, well exposed anther, large feathery stigma, flowers arranged in a inflorescence, single ovule. Now, water pollinated flower. Seen in a submerged flower like Vallisneria, Hydrilla and Zostera. In Vallisneria, male flowers released on a water surface because pollen grains are carried out with the help of different medias. So, this Vallisneria flower which pollinate through water, they released the pollen grain on the water surface and reaches to the female stigmatic region. Okay, mucilage. These pollen grains covered with the mucilage, sticky, because they have to live in the water. Now, insect pollinated flower, they are large, brightly colored, smell, fragrant, produce the nectar, sticky pollen grain, so that they provide the nectar, food and space for laying the eggs for the pollinators. Okay, now pollen pistil interaction. Pollen pistil interaction is nothing but a recognition of compatible pollen grain. It is the interaction between chemical components of a pollen and those of the stigma. Germination of a pollen and development of a male gametophyte. Pollen pistil interaction, that is, a pollen tube grows through the tissues of a stigma and style by secreting enzyme to digest them and enters into the ovule through micropyle. And then it enters into a embryo sac, as we studied. Through the micropylar or chalisolate, they enter and they just fuse with the female egg cell. Now, this is the double fertilization picture. This you can copy down in your copy. Double fertilization process. You are able to see. This is the pollen grain that is deposited on the stigmatic region and they develop a pollen tube. This is the yellow color pollen tube. And they reaches in through these female embryo sac. One fuses with the egg cell that produces the seeds, and another male nucleus fuses with the polar bodies, which helps in the formation of a fruit, pulp, everything. So, this is nothing but a double fertilization. Post-fertilization event, that is very important. Now, post-fertilization events, development of an endosperm, development of an embryo, maturation of an ovule into seed and maturation of an ovary into fruit. Now, endosperm. It develops preceded embryo development. There are three methods of embryo development: nuclear, cellular and halobial. This is very, very important. In nuclear type, PEN, pollen, yes, PEN divides mitotically without cytokinesis and endosperm is free nuclear, and then cell wall formation starts from the periphery to endosperm become nuclear. It provides the food to the developing embryo. If endosperm is completely utilized by embryo, seed is non-albuminous, and if present, seed will be albuminous. Now, development of a embryo sac we already studied. Now see the picture. Now see, this is the picture in which you are see outer integument, inner integument, basal cells, embryo proper. This protoderm is formed, then they give rise to a heart shape, torpid shade, and then afterwards the mature seeds are formed after the double fertilization process. This is the sequential process. Diagrammatically you have to recall. Now formation of embryo. It starts after the certain embryo formation. Zygote divides mitotically and form proembryo. And then it develops into globular heart-shaped embryo, and then horseshoe, depending on their pictures, globular, then heart-shaped, and then shoe-shaped mature embryo is formed with the two cotyledon. We already studied monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Now spatial reproduction, that is apomixis. Sometimes the question may be asked, what is apomixis or agamospory? When seeds are formed without formation, fertilization, that is also studied parthenogenesis. Okay, so that is nothing but a apomixis, the process in which seeds are formed without fertilization. It may develop if a diploid egg cell develops into an embryo without fertilization. If cells of nucellus, we already studied the part of nucellus, may develop into an embryo and pushes into the embryo. So that is without fertilization. If the cells are formed, seeds are formed, that is termed as apomixis. Now, spatial reproduction, that is polyembryony. If more than one egg may form in embryo sac, or if more than one embryo sac is formed in an ovule, then other cells like synergids or nucellus develop into an embryo. Example, more than two seeds are produced. Example, orange, lemon, mango, onion, groundnut. So these are the examples of polyembryony. So this is all about for today's lesson, children. Prepare the notes on this basis of a slide and the topic. I'll conduct the next test. Thank you very much.